Good morning. I'm reading Psalm 57 this morning. Be merciful unto me, O God. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge, until these calamities be overpast. I just wanted to show an example of second Advent references in Psalms, in the book of Psalms. They're everywhere. And what you'll find in the book of Psalms is this word Selah. There it is. Selah pop up over and over and over again. And that I've always been told, and rightly so, that word Selah is a musical terminology, generally for an interruption or a pause or something to that effect. But that's not all it is, which is interesting. Selah, the first mention of it in the Bible, one day we'll do a study on the significance of first mentions. But the first mention of Selah comes up. It's the name of an Edomite city in where what we call modern day Jordan. And they were conquered, the Edomites were conquered, and Selah was captured. And so that Selah's got a geographical significance. It was somewhere on the earth. And we'll look at that later. But right here we've got, be merciful unto me, O God, be merciful unto me, for my soul trusted in thee, yea, in the shadow of thy wings. Now that's interesting, thy wings. And we've got a Selah in this chapter. So I wonder if there's a second Advent reference in this chapter. Thy wings, that should pique your interest. What does it mean by God's wings? Until these calamities be overpassed. That could speak of the tribulation where there are calamities coming, but there's going to be a time when they finish, if you know your Bible. Thy wings. So if we go to Revelation 12 verse 4, very quickly. I just want to give you an example. This is just an example of cross-referencing from the book of Psalms into the book of Revelation. Now I'm going to go to Revelation 12 because I know that Revelation 12 talks about the Jews. Number 12 is the number of the Jewish tribes and the Jews themselves in the Bible. So it's interesting, in Revelation 12 we get all these details about the Jews. I won't go through all the main details, but this woman, and there's a lot of symbology which can be understood from the Bible. We won't go into it. She's a child. Another thing, you can read through Revelation 12 yourself. But pretty much she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. Verse 6, and the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God. There's a place prepared in the wilderness of God, that they should feed her there 2,260 days. On that note, someone in the wilderness being fed for a period of time, and that place is prepared by God, and I'd imagine they're going to get fed by God, but it doesn't say that. Now there's something you'll find in every single gospel, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. You won't find, for example, every single one of them telling about the virgin birth, or every single one of them telling about the ascension, I don't think. But you'll find in every single gospel an account of God's people being fed in the wilderness, and that's significant. So this woman fled into the wilderness, and then over here in the end of the chapter we get more detail. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time. From the face of the serpent. So there you go. This woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly to the wilderness. Isn't that interesting? And what do we read back in Psalms? I'll go back. In the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpast. I'll show you a stronger one in Psalm 55. I believe it's 55. I read this the other day. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Where would you fly? Lo, then I would wander far off and remain in the wilderness. Isn't that interesting? Such a strong cross-reference. And then we have here, Selah. Now, I'm not going to go into a big study, but that Selah was that city of Edom, which could possibly be the location today of what we call the city of Petra. A place that was inhabited. You Google Rock City Petra or Selah Petra, and you'll see this phenomenal city carved into the rocks in Jordan. And it was a couple hundred years ago, completely unoccupied, just abandoned. The previous owners were the Nabateans. And what did it say in Revelation 12:14? They will flee into the wilderness, into a place prepared for them of God, until the calamities be overpast. Anyway, that's just things that probably didn't make too much sense, this study, because we would have to keep going. I'm just showing you how things can very strongly, wings, wilderness, cross-reference as a prophecy of what's going to happen in the tribulation by what we get told in the book of Revelation. Anyway, this might be one where you want to put a question up. But anyway, God bless you. Gone over time. Have a good day.